buscar trabajo a otro lado, y nuestras intenciones en las oraciones es pedir que cada uno encuentre una decente comodidad. Y empezamos con el dúo de Cecilia y Gaby para el trimantra.
Okay. Yeah.
Namo.
We lost your sound, my dear. Let's try again. All right.
El sonido, activen, por favor, chicas. Probemos de nuevo.
¿Se escuchamos? ¿Ahí?
Yeah.
¿Bien?
Mm-hmm.
Namo Vitragai, Namo Harihantanam.
De nuevo os perdimos. Ya es Sachitanam.
Namo Vasayanam. Namo Savasyanam. Pancha Namukaro Savapavapana Savesim Paramam Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Sachidanand. Namo Vitragai. Namo Harihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayariyanam. Namo Vasayanam. Namo Loye Savasahunam. Eso Panchanamukaro Savapavapanashano Mangalanam Jasavesim Paramam Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Sachidanand. Namo Vitragai. Namo Harihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayariyanam. Namo Vatsayanam. Namo Loke Savasahunam. Eso Panchanamukaro Savapavapano Mangalanam Chasavesim Paramam Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Wonderful. So, Jai Sachidanand. You know, when you get the company of a friend, when you are fortunate to have the company of a friend in this world, it is very wonderful. And then when that friend happens to be a Mahatma, it is simply blissful, you see. Because with a Mahatma, you really do not have to make any adjustments. Automatically, the adjustments happen. Yes.
Yes. Es una fortuna tener la compañía de una amiga en este mundo, es maravilloso. Y si es Mahatma, es dichoso, porque con un Mahatma los ajustes suceden.
Mm-hmm. Also, on this beautiful morning of the 30th of March 2022, we begin our satsang with our dearest Gnani Purush Dadashri and our very dear special Mahatmas.
En esta mañana, hermosa mañana del miércoles 30 de marzo de 2022, comenzamos nuestro satsang con nuestro Dadashi, nuestro Nani y los Mahatmas.
Dadashri, I just share a few sentences of Dada, they're so beautiful. I came across them last night. I should have shared them with the Brazilians, and they're so beautiful, so I will share them with you too. This sentences were spoken by Dada on the 9th of November 1967 in Mumbai, in Vadodara, in Vadodara, in Mamani, in Vadodara, in his hometown. Oh, sorry, let me take that back. They were spoken on the 10th of November 1967 in Mumbai. And Dadashri talks about dhan. Dhan means wealth. Dhan means wealth. But there are two types of wealth, you see. One is the material wealth that is outside the Amapura, and the other one is and the second one is the wealth of the self, you see, the Amapura, the inner wealth, you see. Yeah. So there are two types of wealth. One is this material wealth, money, good things, nice things, you see, that can be experienced through the five senses, a good body, a healthy mind. This is all material, physical wealth. And then there is the wealth of the self, ama.
Yes. Voy a compartir, dice Shuddha, estas hermosas oraciones de Dadashri que compartió ayer con los Mahatmas de Brasil. Y son palabras de Dadashri que dijo el 9 de noviembre de 1967 en Bombay, y habló de don en riqueza. Existen dos clases de riqueza. Una es la riqueza material, la riqueza externa, la riqueza que se percibe a través de los 5 sentidos. Y después está la riqueza interior, la riqueza del alma.
And I'm writing the meanings down, so our dear Fabi will give you. And because this is an interesting word, charitra rupi dhan. You see, now dhan, and I will give you word by word. One is charitra. Charitra is conduct, or charitra is conduct or character. Like conduct. One conducts himself in life depending on his conduct. His character. If your conduct In this relative world, it depends on how you are, what is your character, you see, and that is charitra. But there are two types of conduct. One is the relative conduct, and then the one is the conduct as the Amapura.
Va a hablar de Charitra, Rupi, Don y va a estar explicando cada palabra. Charitra es la conducta y la conducta viene del carácter, de cómo eres en la vida. Y también acá hay dos clases, una es la relativa y la otra es la del alma pura.
Yes, so in the same way, dhan means wealth. Wealth is also of two types. One is relative wealth, and then the other wealth is this wealth of conduct as the self. Soyamapura. You see, and wealth and real wealth. You see, so two types of wealth. You see, people have no awareness. Most human beings have no awareness of the preciousness of real conduct as the Amapura.
La gente, bueno, primero, don es riqueza, como había dicho, y está la riqueza en lo relativo, y está la riqueza del alma pura. Y la gente no tiene ni idea de la belleza del alma pura.
You see, so there are three words I give you: charitra, rupi, dhan. In other words, now Dada is not talking about the wealth that arises and comes and then leaves. You see, material wealth, physical wealth, wealth of the mind, wealth of the body, wealth of money, wealth of good relative conduct. You see, all of this is relative wealth, I say. And somebody says, somebody might say, who is such a wonderful gentleman, he is such a wonderful lady, she is so good to everyone. That also, all of that being good to others, etc., is relative. You see, it is temporary, it is not forever. A very good lady or a very good man his conduct may become bad due to evidences. You see, evidences turn him or her in the wrong direction, you see.
Yes. Dada no habla de la riqueza que viene y de la riqueza que se va. No habla de la riqueza del buen estado físico, de la mente, del cuerpo, ni de las buenas conductas relativas, porque de hecho podés decir qué persona tan espectacular y maravilloso es este caballero, pero esto está sucediendo en lo relativo y en lo mundano, y esta persona puede cambiar, las evidencias pueden cambiar a que tenga conductas erróneas.
Yeah, and now I give you the full sentence of the other, which is so beautiful, because you see because we as Mahatmas, our terminology, our words, our modes of communication have changed. You see, one is that which is happening automatically, and then the other one is the inner mode of communication, the inner vision. You see, the inner vision, the inner energy of communication. You see, when you look at a Laura or a Herman or a Fabiana, there is a you as a Mahatma see each other in a different light, you say, in a different light. Hmm?
Yes. Como Mahatmas, nuestras palabras para comunicar suceden desde un lugar en que las palabras salen, pero también está la energía de la visión interna.
Mm-hmm. So Charit,
y los Mahatmas tienen esta visión desde la luz.
So now you see, Dadashri, I'm going to say this because it is such a beautiful sentence, such a magnificent sentence that I'm going to say it in Gujarati and then Fabi will give you the full meaning of it. In Gujarati it says, Charitra Rupi Dhan Sivai. બીજી કોઈ પણ ચીજ વસ્તુ ભવોભવ જોડે આવતી નથી. In other words, except for this wealth of conduct as the self, except for the wealth of the conduct as the self, there is no other thing that accompanies you life after life after life after life. This is your wealth that comes with you, you see, life after life after life. You see.
Yes. Excepto la conducta del ser que viene con el ser, no hay ninguna otra riqueza que te acompañe vida tras vida tras vida.
So some human beings would say, some human beings are basically decent and good. They treat other human beings well. In their entire life, they try their best, and they may not have the Gnan Vidhi, may not be awakened, but they are basically good human beings, and they try not to hurt others, you see, and that also is a conduct, is it not? You see that the other human beings are tough and nasty and ill treat them, but they remain kind and caring, you see, and this is also wealth, is it not? It is an inner wealth. They may not be able to do much for others, but at least they are not hurting other human beings, you see. And this is a wealth that is part of the development of a human being, you see, life after life after life. That is one development. And then, of course, that also comes with you, as opposed to a human being who is grabbing, and that is what he learns our life after life, to take away and take away that which doesn't belong to you.
Yes. Algunos seres humanos van se puede decir que son buenos presentes y que tratan de dar lo mejor, aunque no hayan tomado el plan, y tratan de no herir a nadie, y esto es una conducta. Algunas personas pueden ser no amables con ellos o buenos con ellos, pero ellos permanecen siendo amables y no lastiman. Esta es una riqueza que también se desarrolla vida tras vida, y eso viene con nosotros. Y después también hay otras personas que lo único que quieren es como tomar, y lo vienen haciendo vida tras vida.
So then Dadashri goes on to speak about you know, that which comes to you naturally versus that which you snatch, you see. And you know, we are all very familiar with the Kabir phrase that what you receive naturally is like milk, what you ask for is like water, and what you grab away, take away, it is like blood, you see. It's like blood.
Yes, I remember that. Y vamos a recordar lo que dijo Kabir, ¿no? Lo que viene en forma natural es como leche. Y cuando quieres tomar algo, insistir, tomar algo de la otra persona, insistir, eso es como se transforma en sangre.
Yeah, so that what you get naturally is like milk, you see, and that which you snatch away from somebody, that which you take away through deceitful means, is like, you know, that doesn't belong to you. It's like blood, you know. No matter, it's like blood, taking away the blood of the other person, you see.
Lo que dice Kabir, ¿no? Que lo que viene natural, ¿no? Es como leche, y cuando quieres quitar por codicia lo que no te pertenece, es como tomar la sangre de otra persona.
Yeah, okay, it's like blood. And now Dadashri says that in this world, 98% of the human beings, 98% of the human beings grab and snatch it away, you see. Only about 1.5 to 2% of the people, sorry, 98%, let me give it to you in exactness of Dada because I'm reading this. 98% of the people grab it, snatch it. 1.5% ask for it, you see, ask for it. And only 0.5%, 0.5% of the people, they accept whatever comes naturally as theirs only. You see, whatever comes naturally is mine. You see, you know, somebody says you're a good human being, you're a good lady, that is yours. You have not asked for it, it just comes to you. See?
Yes. Dada dice que el 98% de los seres humanos quieren quitar o tomar lo que no les pertenece y lo hacen por codicia. El 1,5% pide por ello. Y solo el 0,5% acepta lo que venga en forma natural. Si eres bueno, eso es tuyo, te pertenece y no lo pediste.
And then, of course, he says very beautiful sentence that which all of us are familiar with, but again and again, these are so fundamental. These are the foundations of our charitra, our conduct, our real conduct. That even if you hear them 1,000 times, they are so precious. And this sentence is that hard work does not earn anything. It is punya that earns. It is punya that earns. It is the good karma from past life that is actually the earning, you see. If you have very beautiful things and beautiful body and beautiful mind now, it is punya from past life. It's good karma from past life, you see. Effect, good karma effect in this life, good karma cause in the last life.
Todos estamos familiarizados con esto, ¿no? Pero fundamentalmente Dadashri dice que toda nuestra conducta charitra y lo hemos escuchado más de 1000 veces esto. Puede ser que trabajemos duro para conseguir algo, pero puede ser que no venga. Y todo lo que viene, un bello cuerpo, una bella mente, cosas bellas, es debido al puña de la vida pasada. Todo lo que tenemos bueno, maravilloso en esta vida es el buen karma causado en la vida pasada.
Yeah. And then one very beautiful sentence which you and I can understand, human beings, you and I are the awakened ones. Dadashri says, when a thing, anything gives profit, and the emphasis is on the word profit. When a thing produces profit, okay, then a human being becomes blind. A human being becomes blind. Blind with what? Kashais. Which kashai? Greed. Automatically greed comes in, you see. So, think about this. This is such a phenomenal observation of Dada. What Dada is saying. When anything gives you profit, a human being becomes blind. In other words, now you cannot see.
Tadashi dice que nosotros somos conscientes y que cualquier cosa que dé ganancias al ser humano se vuelve ciego. Se vuelve ciego por los kashais, por el kashai de la codicia. Y esto es una fenomenal visión.
Say you live in a village, a small town, and you have a little piece of land where there is a beautiful orchard, fruits, and it produces beautiful, nice fruits. And so it's a thing. The fruit is a thing, and people in your town love to buy it from you, have it from you. So you sell those fruits to them, you see. Now, when you get a profit from them, when you start making money out of it, you see, then if you are not awakened, if you do not have the Gnanvidhi, you will become blind. Greed will come in. Oh, now I need to increase the price, or I need to increase the number of trees that I grow, and and that is how it begins. That is how Kashai come in, That is how Kashai come in. Sorry, I'm speaking too long, but it is on the basis of good punya that you have scientific circumstantial evidences, of course, but it's on the basis of punya that you have beautiful trees that give nice fruits. And
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I follow.
Okay, good.
Por ejemplo, vives en un pequeño, en una pequeña ciudad y tienes un espacio de verde donde tienes hermosos árboles que dan hermosos frutos. Y a la gente del lugar le encantan los frutos que tienes y vienen a comprártelos. Entonces, cuando tienes ganancias, si no tienes el Nanvidi, si no tienes la conciencia, va a despertarse la codicia. Entonces dice, bueno, voy a aumentar los precios, voy a tener que tener más árboles, y así entran los kashais. Y los buenos árboles y los buenos frutos solo suceden por el buen puña, las buenas evidencias científicas circunstancial. Por eso tienes buenos árboles, por eso tienes buenas frutas.
It is only you and I understand that, when this wealth, these good things that come to us, you see, are happening. This is all merit karma punya, but now it is Vyavasthit, you see. And Sometimes when bad weather comes year after year after year and nothing grows on in your orchard, then that is also the effect of sin. It is pap karma that is coming into effect, you see.
Yes.
And that is how it is. Good things come to you and they do not come to you even when you want them very badly. You see, these are all effects. These are all effects.
Solo nosotros entendemos que lo bueno tiene que ver con un buen karma y ahora es Vyavasthit. Y cuando nada crece en tu huerta, eso también es un efecto. Las cosas vienen, buenas vienen y eso es un efecto. Y cuando no vienen las cosas buenas, no hay nada que hacer.
Okay, and so now I give you the final sentence, and then of course we will, that's when the satsang actually closes on that day. This every sentence of Dada is so like pure gold coming out, you see. His last sentence is, because he says, he said when a thing gives you, when a thing gives profit, a human being becomes blind. You see. Now the last sentence is, there is nothing in this world, that is worth crying. Because the other started with a thing. There is nothing in this world, nothing in this world that is worth crying or becoming happy about. There is nothing in this world that is worth crying over or becoming very pleased about, you see. If you have to cry, Dadashri says, then cry for moksha, cry for liberation. But otherwise, do not cry. Do not cry.
Yes. Bueno, todas estas palabras de Dada, estas oraciones de Dada, son como oro puro para nosotros. Y dice, todo lo que da ganancias te vuelve ciego. Y no hay nada en este mundo que valga la pena que te haga, por lo cual vos te preocupes o llores o te dé alegría. Si tienes que llorar, solamente llora por moksha y la liberación.
So magnificent, you see. It is so beautiful. I shared just a few words with you, but this gives you the exactness. This gives you the exactness of this that is happening all around us, you see. And it is not just simple physical things, you see. It is not just simple physical things, money, clothes, car, home, good food. It is not just physical things. It is also, the relative part of the relative good things that happen in this body, the ability to think clearly or to do something nice because you got a good body, strong body, you see. These are all punya pap effects, you see. And now you and I, each one of us have become separate from it so that we can see it as it is. You see, in front of us, you see, we see it as it in front of us. So if somebody has got a lot of beautiful things or beautiful body or a beautiful mind, you appreciate it, but you you don't go, you don't you are free from kashai that makes you grab it or ask for it. You accept what comes your way naturally.
Yes. Lo que pasa es exactamente lo que sucede. No son solo cosas físicas, también tienen que ver con la comida, con todo lo que es relativo y es bueno. Y todo lo que le pasa a este cuerpo tiene que ver con el con el puña, con el vapuña, con el efecto del puña, de la intención. Y ahora nosotros podemos ver que ese bello cuerpo, esas cosas buenas o lindas, las vemos como son y las vemos que están frente a nosotros. Entonces, si nosotros apreciamos lo bueno, pero nosotros no vamos, somos libres, porque si vamos aparecen los kashais y vamos a estar queriendo tomar eso o lo vamos a pedir cuando en realidad es aceptar en forma natural todo lo que suceda o venga.
And this light within us, my friends, the magnificent golden light of the self, you see, the pure one. The light of the pure one continues to purify us, you see. We are the golden ones who are free now, you see. And our light, wherever it falls, it purifies it. You see, our light falling on, my light falling on Shuddha purifies Shuddha, cleans him up. Your light falling on Patricia or your light falling on Fabiana cleans her up too, you see. Naturally. Naturally.
Thank you. Thank you. Y esta luz dorada del ser continúa purificándonos. Y somos como esta luz dorada que cae sobre Shuddha, sobre Fabiana y sobre Patricia y continúa limpiando y purificando.
And it definitely has a magnificent effect on those that are around you too. You see, it has a phenomenally beautiful effect on those around you, because the Amapura in that person can receive these energies, you see, whether that person is awakened or not. They know that there is something very special about you. They can really, they begin, they like to be around you. They like to, they know that there is something different about you compared to their vibrations that they receive from this very grabbing 98%, 99.5% word, or let's say 98%, the grabbing part. It's okay to ask if you want it, but but at least the grabbing and the hurting is what human beings are subjected to 98% around,
estos magníficos efectos de quienes estamos conscientes. Es maravilloso para la gente que nos rodea, porque el alma pura en esa persona puede recibir esta energía y esté consciente o no, siente que existe una diferencia y que no vamos a querer estar tomando o quitando algo, como es el 98%. Pedir tal vez está bien, pero van a sentir algo absolutamente diferente en nuestra presencia.
And my friends, this is the easy way to be and to fly in this magnificent world, you see. The world becomes beautiful with this view, you see. Yeah, the problem is not the world, the problem is the inability to see it like you and I are able to see it, you see. We have begun to see it the way it is, really is, you see. We have begun to see it the way it really is. The seeing it as Fabi or as also Herman or also Christian is not seeing it right, you see.
Esta es la forma de estar y volar con esta visión. El problema es la inhabilidad de ver. Y nosotros comenzamos a ver en la forma que realmente es. El problema no es el mundo, sino la incapacidad de verlo correctamente.
Yes, so we take a little 5 minutes break. Does anybody want to say anything, share anything, feel anything?
Vamos a tomar 5 minutos de recreo y después si alguien quiere compartir algo, hacer una pregunta.
All right, so yeah, let's. I know you like to have. I realize you like to have 10 minutes, so let's take your 10-minute break and then we come back. Okay, I know we're taking a little early the break, but we'll come back in 10 minutes.
Bueno, en 10 minutos de recreo. Thank you, Shuddha.
All right. Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand. Okay. So shall we continue?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to share the screen, and so we can go to our Vyavasthit
¿Alguien quiere compartir la pantalla para poder ir al curso de Vyavasthit? I think the last one we have done is 2949.
Yeah, and
This is the next. Is this today?
Yeah, this is today.
Okay.
I think
So
2949.
I'll write it down.
Wait a minute. 2949. Let me make sure.
Yes, because
Yeah,
the last
that's
satsang we
yeah,
were
right.
talking about another thing. Yes.
Yeah, right. Now, yeah, right. This is 2949. We finished, and this is now today. This is today.
2699. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
All right. So let me pull the Gujarati. Yes. All right. Yeah. Aptasutra 2699. Dadashri says one should understand the meaning of Vyavasthit. Make the effort, then whatever happens, whatever result materializes, that is Vyavasthit. And let you start with that.
En el Aptasutra 2699, Dada dice que uno debe entender el significado de Vyavasthit. Haz el esfuerzo. Luego, lo que suceda, cualquier resultado que se materialice, eso es Vyavasthit.
So this is 26242669. Yeah, right. This is exact Vyavasthit. I have seen it, says Dada. Even your efforts will be accordingly. But why do we have to caution you? Some people become such that their efforts become lax, turn lax. They make their inner intent lax, such that, oh, it is Vyavasthit, so what's the problem? Then they will not even attend to the business. One cannot say Vyavasthit like that. It is only when it is necessary that Vyavasthit can be said openly. Otherwise, Vyavasthit cannot be said. You cannot say Vyavasthit. All right.
Esto es Vyavasthit, exacto. Lo he visto. Incluso tus esfuerzos serán en consecuencia. Pero ¿por qué tenemos que advertirte? Algunas personas se entregan tan fácilmente que sus esfuerzos se vuelven laxos. Hacen que su intención sea laxa, de modo que dicen, esto ya Vyavasthit. Así que, ¿cuál es el problema? Así que ni siquiera se ocuparán del negocio. No se puede decir Vyavasthit de esa forma. Solo se puede decir Vyavasthit cuando es necesario. De lo contrario, no se puede decir Vyavasthit.
After, the questioner says, after it happens, it is Vyavasthit.
El interlocutor dice, después de que sucede, es Vyavasthit.
Dadashri. Yes, after it happens, it is Vyavasthit. Therefore, apprehension or this is not apprehension. It is therefore sankalp vikalp. Dadashri has used the word sankalp vikalp does not arise as to why this happened. When you say it is Vyavasthit, then sankalp vikalp stops and it all then leaves, you see. When you say it's Vyavasthit, by the way, this, let's just correct this here. Apprehension is the wrong word here. Correct translation, and I'm going to write this in the chat.
And you say it's sankalvikal.
Sankalp Sankalp means I am Patricia, and Vikalp means means this is mine. You see. All right. So Sankalp Vikalp does not arise. You say Sankalp Vikalp. Now let me just stop sharing it so that you have it in the chat. Sankalp means I'm Patricia. I also Fabiana, and Vikalp means this is mine. And so as soon as you say I am Fabi, then everything arises. This is mine, why is this happening, etc. Vikalp, you see. So these are two fundamental words of our Akram Vignan that you need to. This is part of our science of liberation. You need to know these. You see, you cannot escape this. Even though you are Spanish-speaking people, you need to know this. Sankalp Vikalp, because that word apprehension, if you use it, it's like not saying what Dada is saying. Apprehension means fear and all of those things. But what is the fundamental reason why? What is the fundamental reason why Sankalp Vikalp arises? What is the main reason why I am Patricia or this is mine arise? It's because you do not say Vyavasthit, because you do not know Vyavasthit, you do not apply Vyavasthit. See?
Yes. Acá en la palabra cuando dice aprehensión, en realidad Dada dijo Sankalp Vikalp. Sankalp quiere decir yo soy Patricia. Y cuando yo digo soy Patricia, entonces surge Vikalp, que esto es mío, este es mi cuerpo. Y surge porque no conocemos ni sabemos aplicar la palabra Vyavasthit. Aprehensión tiene más que ver con el miedo. Y estas palabras, Sankalp, Vikalp, es absolutamente necesario que las conozcamos, aunque tengamos habla española.
Because why do you question what has happened? Anything that has happened is because you become Patricia. You enter into Sankalp, you see, and then you become angry or upset is because you believe it is happening to me, you see. So you see how important Sankalp Vikalp is here.
Acá podemos decir, bueno, ¿por qué ha sucedido esto? Y así hacemos esa pregunta es porque Sankalp Vikalp surgió, porque yo creo que yo soy Patricia y que esto me sucedió a mí. Si tuviera el correcto conocimiento, no haría esa pregunta.
So Dadashri says, when you say it is Vyavasthit, then Sankalp Vikalp. Let me go to Gujarati. Do not happen. They stop. Sankalp Vikalp stop. When you say Vyavasthit, I also Patricia, and this is happening to me, mine, completely stop. You say Vyavasthit means it's over, and that is our experience, is it not? All of us, when we say Vyavasthit, okay, period, then means you don't stop being Shuddha, you stop complaining, everything stops. That is the beauty of Vyavasthit.
Cuando decimos la palabra Vyavasthit, Sankalp y Vikalp desaparecen. Y esta es la belleza de la palabra Vyavasthit.
Questioner, the excess faith that Vyavasthit makes one do it. If Vyavasthit is making you do this or that, it lessens my Purusharth effort. So what should I do there? Again, this word Purusharth here is used in the wrong meaning, but let's just talk about first, translate this, okay?
Pregunta. ¿El exceso de fe en que Vyavasthit hace que uno lo haga disminuye mi Purusharth, el esfuerzo espiritual? Así, ¿qué debo hacer allí?
Purusharth, what the questioner was trying to say is, if I say Vyavasthit is doing it, if Vyavasthit makes one do it, then it lessens my Purusharth. Now, I want you all to understand that whenever you use the word Vyavasthit, or whenever you are into the vision of Vyavasthit, then automatically the Purusharth is P capital. Eoso Amapura is, and when you say Vyavasthit, that means you automatically become Amapura. Only when you are Amapura that you can say it is Vyavasthit, right?
Acá en la pregunta dice, cuando Vyavasthit hace que uno lo haga, entonces acá Purusharth lleva la P mayúscula. Y y únicamente cuando te vuelves alma pura puedes decir Vyavasthit.
In other words, you cannot be Patricia and say Vyavasthit is making me do it. You see? You understand? It is only when you get out of Patricia that you can say Vyavasthit is making Patricia do these things. You see?
I have a question. In the relative, Patricia works and do whatever requires the relative, and the result it's going to be Vyavasthit. Maybe it's what Patricia works for that or not, the result, but it's Vyavasthit. But Patricia have to do what she has to do. And if I do not like the result, it's Vyavasthit.
If Patricia doesn't like the result, then it is Vyavasthit. Don't say I there, because I is Amapura. If you use Vyavasthit,
no, but I in this way I say it. I look Patricia. She wakes up and do this, that. Maybe at night the result is not whatever she works for. I'm just looking Patricia.
Yeah, right. So you're aware of. You see, this is the essence of the sutra. In other words, there is this, in this awareness, you know that the one who is programmed to do will have to do whether she likes it or not. The one who is programmed to do will continue to do from morning to evening whatever is being done, you see. And you are the blissful knower of whatever is happening, you see. And so the word like does not come in. The like and the dislike remains for the doer, Patricia, not for you. Okay, let you translate that, you see.
Lo que yo le preguntaba a Shuddha, que en realidad es como la esencia de la pregunta. Patricia se levanta a la mañana y hace todo lo que está programado para hacer, y puede ser que el resultado no sea el esperado, y eso es Vyavasthit, y solamente lo puedo decir desde el alma pura, desde ser la conocedora de lo que Patricia está programada para hacer.
Okay, everybody clear on this? Because this is important. You see,
¿Están todos claros en esto? Porque esto es
and also you need to translate that you cannot, whenever you use Vyavasthit, whenever you are in the vision of Vyavasthit, you are Amapura. Patricia cannot say Vyavasthit. Patricia is Patricia. Patricia cannot see Vyavasthit. Amapura can see Vyavasthit.
Si tú usas la palabra Vyavasthit, tienes que estar en la visión del alma pura. Entonces puedes ver Vyavasthit. Patricia no puede ver Vyavasthit.
Patricia cannot say Vyavasthit because Patricia cannot see Vyavasthit.
Patricia no puede decir Vyavasthit porque Patricia no ve Vyavasthit, no lo puede ver.
Patricia cannot see Vyavasthit. Patricia only says, oh, I got touched. I don't like this. But the Patricia cannot see evidences, scientific circumstantial evidences. Only Amapura vision allows you to see Vyavasthit, scientific circumstantial evidences. You see, intellect cannot see scientific circumstantial evidences. Intellect can see a few evidences but cannot see all evidences.
Puede ser que a Patricia le toquen la mano, la agarren y diga, no, esto no me gusta. Y Patricia no está pudiendo ver las evidencias. No está pudiendo ver las evidencias. Patricia no ve las evidencias. Solamente el alma pura puede ver las evidencias científico-circunstanciales.
Yeah, intellect. In other words, intellect cannot really see the ego. Intellect cannot see the ego. Intellect will complain about everybody else's ego all the time, but intellect cannot see the real ego. The real ego is also Patricia. So intellect cannot see ego.
El intelecto no puede ver el ego. El intelecto se va a quejar del ego todo el tiempo. Pero el ego real es soy Patricia. Y no puedo ver desde el
So
ego.
by being in the ego sees the ego of others, but you see, but ego cannot see its own ego. Ego cannot see ego. Can ego see ego?
No, no, not mine.
Ego,
Not mine.
no ego can see ego because ego is blind. Ego is blind. Only when you are not in the ego, on that you can see ego correctly. Only when you are not Patricia can you see Patricia.
Yes. El ego no puede ver el ego. El ego, Patricia no puede ver su ego. Y no lo puede ver porque el ego es ciego. Solo cuando no soy Patricia puedo ver a Patricia.
You can only see Patricia when you are not Patricia, when you are above Patricia, when you are separated from Patricia, that you can see Patricia. Otherwise, you really cannot see Patricia.
Cuando estoy solo puedo ver a Patricia cuando estoy separada. Si no, no es posible que la vea.
Right? Is that clear to everyone here? This is fundamental, my friends.
¿Están todos claros con esto? Porque es fundamental.
Because otherwise you will say, I am hurt. I don't like it. You see? Otherwise you say, I am hurt. But it is the ego. The one who believes I am this body is saying I am hurt. The one who is free from this body can only see it all, can see it.
Yes. Yo puedo decir, me duele, no me gusta, y ese es el ego. Ese es el ego que cree que es el cuerpo. El que no cree que es el cuerpo es el que puede ver.
So Dadashri says, no, you cannot say that Vyavasthit makes you do it. You cannot say that Vyavasthit is making you do it, because who are you? Therefore, you say, for all the responsibility is one's own. It is something else that is making you do this. And yet the responsibility is still yours. However, if one says that it is Vyavasthit even before, even however, if one says that it is Vyavasthit before even he does anything, then for the further progress, further process will be stopped. Once the process begins, and if as a result of a loss of million rupees, and if as a result a loss of 1,000,000 rupees ensues, then it is Vyavasthit. But you have to hang on to your efforts right till you incur the loss. You see, you have to continue to try not to prevent the loss. You see, to prevent the loss. But once the loss happens, then it is Vyavasthit. Okay.
Dadashri, no puedes decir que Vyavasthit te hace hacerlo. Toda la responsabilidad es propia. Es otra cosa que te hace hacerlo, pero la responsabilidad sigue siendo tuya. Sin embargo, si uno dice que es Vyavasthit, incluso antes que la persona haga nada, se detendrá el proceso adicional. Una vez que el proceso comienza, y si como resultado se produce una pérdida de 1,000,000 de rupias, en ese momento puedes decir que es Vyavasthit. Pero tienes que aferrarte a tu esfuerzo hasta que incurras en la pérdida.
This is an important sentence here. That it is something else that makes you do this, yet the responsibility is still yours. You see, this sentence is important because there is some other energy that is making you, Patricia, do whatever you do. But as long as you are in this body of Patricia, the responsibility is still yours, is it not? You cannot say, oh, Vyavasthit is making me do this. I said some bad words. It is Vyavasthit that is making me do the bad words. Huh?
Lo importante, algo que es muy importante, cuando dice acá que algo te hace hacerlo, pero tú eres el responsable. Mientras que estés en este cuerpo, por ejemplo, mientras que esté en el cuerpo de Patricia, sí va a haber cosas que van a suceder. Por ejemplo, si Patricia dice malas palabras, esa es responsabilidad de Patricia.
Say somebody is, somebody is bothering or harassing Patricia, okay? Now, so Patricia's, is being tested now. Patricia will try not to react or respond, but after the third or the fourth time, Patricia will become angry and say something to him, right? So that is not to say anything to somebody who is abusing or abusive towards Patricia. That is the relative Purusharth, is it not? That is the relative Purusharth. You see, you try not to say anything back. You try not to say anything. 5 times you said nothing. 6th time you will, your spring will become loose and you will say something, right? So at that time you cannot say Vyavasthit made me do this. After it happens, after you swear back at him, then you can say, then you should know that it is Vyavasthit. You did not want to say it, but it happened, you see.
Yes. Por ejemplo, si a Patricia le dicen algo feo, es como que la están testeando. Entonces, la primera vez no dice nada, la segunda, ya la cuarta vez, Patricia va a decir algo. Y esa contestación en lo relativo afecta mi Purusharth. Y si contesto, o sea, voy a hacer todo el esfuerzo posible para no contestar. Patricia va a hacer todo el esfuerzo para no contestar. Pero si contesta, ahí es Vyavasthit.
All right. So now questioner is asking, can one say Vyavasthit before or after something happens? The emphasis is on the word say. In other words, you loudly say Vyavasthit. Can one say before or after something happens? Dadashri. Okay.
Pregunta, ¿se puede decir Vyavasthit antes o después de que sucede algo?
And Dadashri gives a very interesting answer. Actually, it is Vyavasthit from the beginning only. But if it is said before it has begun, it will be misused, you see. This is because Gnan, G capital Gnan, has not manifested yet, completely yet, you see. So such awakened awareness or Jagruti has not arisen yet for you, and hence a mistake will end up happening. We, the Gnani Purush, know that it is exactly like this, but then there will be a problem if you, as a Mahatma, say so before it has happened, you see. The reason we give you the knowledge of Vyavasthit is so that, again the word apprehension is coming, so again, sankalp vikalp will not arise. So instead of apprehension, you need to switch it to sankalp vikalp, you see, will not arise, Otherwise, wouldn't the Tirthankar lords have disclosed this knowledge? What? Did they not know this knowledge? They did know this knowledge of scientific circumstantial evidence or Vyavasthit, but they did not disclose it. They did not open it up to the world. When a policeman comes to arrest you, if you accept Vyavasthit, then you will not have any sankalp vikalp. You will not have any sense of, oh, this is happening to me, and oh, I am Patricia and this is happening to me. You see, you will accept Vyavasthit. However, Vyavasthit is there, but Dada says nonetheless, Vyavasthit is there indeed from the beginning. The policeman coming, the policeman arresting you, or the policeman leaving without arresting you is all part of the Vyavasthit. But you are not able to maintain the awakened awareness. You see, this Jagruti. Therefore, you cannot say Vyavasthit from the beginning, from the start. You see, you see a policeman coming, you don't know whether he's going to arrest you or he's just going to leave you alone. You see, but you cannot say Vyavasthit from the beginning. You see, after it happens, your Vyavasthit knowledge should come. Where there is a likelihood of slipping, you have to say it is slippery, so be careful. That is the new thing. Where there is the likelihood of slipping, you do not say Vyavasthit. You have to say, oh, be careful here. You see, you cannot say, oh, policeman is here, it is Vyavasthit if he arrests me. No, you have to you have to do whatever is needed so that the policeman does not arrest you. You have to say, wait a minute, my friend, what is the reason why you have come to arrest me? May I see the warrant? Are you sure you have caught the right Patricia? Or is it the other one who lives, 3 blocks away, all of these reasons. You cannot say, oh, it's Vyavasthit. Here, take me to the police station. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so first read this and then explain. Yeah.
Dadashri. En realidad es desde el principio, pero si lo dices antes será mal utilizado. Esto se debe a que aún no se ha manifestado el Gnani. No ha surgido todavía la conciencia despierta, el Jagruti, por lo tanto te terminará haciendo un error. Sabemos que es exactamente así, pero habrá un problema si lo dices. La razón por la que te damos el conocimiento de Vyavasthit es para que nos surja el Sangal Nikalp. Yo soy Patricia y esto me está pasando a mí y eso hay que corregirlo. Si no, no habrían revelado este conocimiento a los Lords Titankar, que no conocían este conocimiento. Ellos lo conocían, pero no lo revelaron. Cuando viene a arrestarme un policía, si aceptas Vyavasthit, no tendrás ninguna singal ni calp. Esto me está pasando a mí, yo soy Patricia. Sin embargo, Vyavasthit está ahí desde el principio y tú no eres capaz de mantener la conciencia despierta. Por lo tanto, no puedes decir Vyavasthit desde el principio. Donde hay probabilidad de resbalar, tienes que decir es resbaladizo, así que ten cuidado.
And now give the example of the policeman coming to catch Patricia.
Yes. Entonces, por ejemplo, si viene un policía a arrestarme, yo no puedo decir Vyavasthit porque el policía está viniendo a arrestarme. Primero tengo que hacer todo lo posible para ver si realmente es a mí a quien está buscando. No puedo entregar las manos y que, bueno, me lleve preso y decir Vyavasthit, sino que tengo que ver, bueno, qué es lo que está pasando acá, si realmente soy yo o es otra Patricia que está 3 cuadras alejado, ¿no? Hacer todo lo posible para que esto no suceda. And there is a question. Vyavasthit is the result of something. And I don't know what is going to happen. So Patricia, I have to try to do the best, and whatever it happens, then is Vyavasthit. But put the best of Patricia.
Yeah, that is another aspect of this, you see. There is another part of this. Right now, the other is talking about not using the word Vyavasthit in advance, you see. You say, to Patricia, doing the best or not doing the best is a different aspect of Vyavasthit, you see. Yes, more importantly, it's Dada is now moving into this fundamental understanding that yes, everything that happens to Patricia or to any one of us is really Vyavasthit, Scientific circumstantial evidence is doing it, but that is the final awareness. That is total, but because and that awareness has to rise within each one of us, you see. And when it becomes total, then you don't need to say anything. Everything is Vyavasthit for you, you see. Everything that happens is Vyavasthit. Translate that much and then we'll talk more.
Okay. Thank you. Lo que le preguntaba a Shuddha es que bueno, que desde lo relativo Patricia hace lo mejor que cree, ¿no? Y después el resultado es Vyavasthit. Pero acá Shuddha me dice que ese es otro aspecto. Mi pregunta tiene que ver con otro aspecto. Acá es entender el conocimiento que nos está dando Dadashri, es entender que todo lo que sucede es Vyavasthit y que son las evidencias científicas circunstanciales lo que lo hacen posible. Y este es el conocimiento total. La conciencia tiene que surgir. Entonces, no dices nada, cuando estás en conciencia, conocimiento, no dices nada, porque todo es Vyavasthit.
In other words, before it happens, you cannot say Vyavasthit. You see, you see a policeman, all right? Understand that what Patricia is describing, what you are asking for about doing your best, is coming later on in this advanced understanding, you see. It's another sutra. So we will leave that alone right now. Patricia doing your best. Right now, let's just focus on what Dada is saying. What Dada is saying is, what Dada is saying is, you see a policeman coming into your home, in front of your home, to your home, in front of your door. You cannot say this, you cannot say, oh, he's going to catch me, it's Vyavasthit now, he's going to catch me and take me away, that is part of the Vyavasthit. You don't know whether he's just coming to kind of ask where the neighbor is. Are you Patricia, or are you Patricia this, or are you another Patricia? He might be just knocking on the door. You don't know. So you have to, only after he comes and he goes away, that you can say it is Vyavasthit. He may come and say, okay, no, I have to take you to the police station. Then that is Vyavasthit. But if you say it in advance, then that is wrong. That is misuse of Vyavasthit. You automatically have to see what happens. You have to see what Patricia has to do, whatever she has to do. She will say, I'm sorry, sir, this, you have the wrong person, or, oh, I have already paid my dues, see, this is the receipt, etc., etc. So, you cannot say it is Vyavasthit in advance. After he is gone, then you say it is Vyavasthit, you see. So there, and this is, Dada is explaining this very clearly. Yes, it is Vyavasthit. It's all part of the fantastic program of this universe, you see, but you cannot say before it happens.
Yes, thank you. Antes que suceda, no se puede decir ya, Bastit, porque si un policía golpea la puerta de mi casa, yo no sé a qué viene, no puedo decir viene a arrestarme. Entonces yo le puedo preguntar qué es lo que quiere, y él puede ser que esté buscando una persona errónea, o que esté reclamando que pague una multa y yo ya la pagué, o no soy la persona que está buscando, o puede llevarme presa también. Pero si el policía se va porque era el lugar equivocado o porque yo ya pagué la multa, eso ahí es Vyavasthit. O si también me lleva presa por algo que hice, también es Vyavasthit. Pero nunca decirlo antes de que suceda. El policía está en la puerta de mi casa y no puedo decir Vyavasthit. Es antes que esto suceda. Eso. Y hay que decirlo después.
Yeah. Yeah. This has been, I'm just kind of comparing it with I'm just comparing it with the original Gujarati. You see, Dadashri says, I have given you Vyavasthit. I have given you Vyavasthit knowledge so that you will not have Sankalp Vikalp. This is the fundamental difference between our dearest Dada and the Lord Tirthankar, the Lord Tirthankar, Mahavir, who never opened it up. Why? I am giving it to you. I'm taking the responsibility of giving it to you. And why am I doing it? So that you will not have Sankalp Vikalp. When you use Vyavasthit, the knowledge of Vyavasthit, then I, also Patricia, also Laura, will not arise, or this is happening to me will not arise. This is so important. You see, when the policeman is coming to you, something wrong is happening, something that, then you will be protected. You see, then you'll be protected, because the problem is that whatever happens in this world, the problem arises when you say it is happening to me. I am Shuddha, this is happening to me. That is the problem, you see.
Yes, acá Dadashri dice, yo te di Vyavasthit para que no tengas Sankalp Vikalp, que no surja de esto me pasa a mí, y de esta forma estarás protegido.
So, cut off this word apprehension in this translation, okay? And, for your version, put in Sankalp Vikalp. Very, very important, because, then, no matter what happens, I am Anila will not arise. When your knowledge of Vyavasthit becomes very solid and strong, you see. And that is why we are studying this. We are in the, so many sessions of Vyavasthit, so many advanced understanding. Again and again and again, we will have to get this right. You see, we will have to get this right. This is not happening to me. I'm not Patricia. This is happening to this formed Pudgal, this body complex, this Prakriti,
Yes. Es muy importante que corrijan en esto la palabra, sacar la palabra aprehensión y que coloque y colocarlo correctamente, que es Sankalp Vikalp. Y esto nos va a ayudar muchísimo al avanzado entendimiento. Cuando somos conscientes de Sankalp Vikalp, esto no surgirá. Es que me pasa a mí. Vamos a estar protegidos porque vamos a ver que esto les está pasando al cuerpo, a la mente, al Prakruti de Patricia. Y no va a surgir yo soy Anila, no surgirá. Y por eso es este conocimiento que estamos profundizando para que sea cada vez más sólido y fuerte este avanzado entendimiento.
Yes, Dadashri says, yes, it is second by second Vyavasthit. Vyavasthit is second by second. It is already it is happening. You see, it is happening. And what is it in this world that you will not call a result? You see, whatever just happened is Vyavasthit, and you get a thought and it is Vyavasthit, it's gone. you get a thought, you say something and it's over. It's Vyavasthit. What will you say is not Vyavasthit in this world? Tell me.
Dada dice que segundo a segundo está pasando, ¿no? Y que Vyavasthit está pasando segundo a segundo. ¿Qué pasa en este mundo que no lo llames, que no lo puedas, que no se llame resultado? Tienes un pensamiento, dices algo y se terminó. Es Vyavasthit.
And he says, yes, it's, what is it that you will not call a result? What is it that is not a result? Let's talk about this, because Vyavasthit is Vyavasthit. It is not a result. Vyavasthit is Vyavasthit. Result is an interpretation.
Wow.
You see, Vyavasthit is Vyavasthit. If you are Ramapura, Vyavasthit.
Wow. End of the
Yes, it's,
es phenomenal.
because yeah.
¿Qué no es un resultado en lo relativo? Vyavasthit, Vyavasthit es Vyavasthit y el resultado es solo una interpretación.
Yeah, it's when you say it's a result, it is correct and it is not correct. Yes, in other words, if result is for the one who interprets it, is it not? You interpret something and say this is a result, or this is.
I now at this moment I see it. Now I see it. I didn't see it before. Thank you. El resultado es una interpretación y es una interpretación de la que está interpretando.
Because you see, built into this world, result is the right and the wrong. You see, because if if there is no right or wrong, it is Vyavasthit. You see. When you get the wrong result, you say, oh, and when you get the right result, you become happy. Again, you are in the same boat. again, you're part of the effect only. You see.
In the relative, we are in the relative.
In the relative again. Yeah. The one who sees the relative exactly knows Vyavasthit, you see. So, you see, the one who sees it as it is doesn't, it's what, for that one, everything just is in front, arising and moving away, arising and moving away, or sometimes staying longer, but it's just there, it's in the front. And if it's in the front, then you're separate from it. If it's in the front of you, then you're separate from it. You are Amapura, and this is Vyavasthit, scientific circumstantial evidence. Yes, for the lower approaches in our daily life, you say, oh, what happened is Vyavasthit. You tried your best, and then and when the result is Vyavasthit. And that's correct, you see, you tried your best, but who are you? You tried your best, but what made you try your best? Evidences, you see.
Yes.
If you had a nice breakfast, you would do better. If you didn't eat the breakfast and you didn't eat the lunch, then by 2 o'clock, you're not, you're useless. You can't do the work right. Evidences is making you making it happen. Yeah.
Yes. Poder ver Vyavasthit no es un resultado, el resultado es una interpretación, y la interpretación de qué es correcto o erróneo es de lo relativo. En realidad todo es Vyavasthit. Y poder ver lo relativo es poder ver lo que surge y se va, y eso está sucediendo enfrente, porque estoy separada. Soy alma pura, esto es Vyavasthit, y está bajo la influencia de la evidencia científica circunstancial. Para el Lord te preguntará, ¿quién eres tú la que trata de hacerlo mejor, ¿no? Y todos son evidencias. Puede haber tomado un desayuno y después puedo no almorzar, sucede que no almuerce, y por no almorzar no estoy lo suficiente, no puedo hacer las cosas porque estoy sin fuerza. Todo esto, ¿quién lo maneja? Esto es una evidencia.
What has been just discussed, you see, it is the highest view of Vyavasthit, you know. Vyavasthit by the second, and even a second is too long, you know, it's just scientific circumstantial evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence, you see. And there is no doer as you see these evidences, you see, as you see the evidences. There is no doer. You know, at the relative level, it will be interpreted as a result, good result, and bad result. It is good. Oh, this is a beautiful result. Oh, I don't like it, you know. So, but the knower continues to know. The knower continues to remain separate, you see.
Yes. Esta es la más elevada visión de Vyavasthit. Y después viene evidencias científicas circunstanciales. Y vienen evidencia tras evidencia tras evidencia, y no hay hacedor. Desde lo relativo podemos decir que algo me gusta o que no me gusta, que es bueno o que no es bueno. Pero el conocedor permanece separado.
This is the direct result of awareness, rising awareness. In the initial stages after the Gnanvidhi, you know, this precaution is given, you know, for years and years, you know, that you cannot, yes, it is Vyavasthit, but you cannot say Vyavasthit, because it's not for you to say Vyavasthit. It is for Vyavasthit is for you to experience. Vyavasthit is the vision of awareness. In your awareness, everything is Vyavasthit. Everything is Vyavasthit.
Este es un directo resultado de conciencia luego del Gnanvidhi. Y sí, todo es Vyavasthit, pero no se dice. Es una experiencia y es la visión de la conciencia. Se puede decir Vyavasthit cuando está la visión de la conciencia.
And so that is the growth of the Mahatma, you see. In the growth of the Mahatma, as a Mahatma, you know, the Mahatma is given increasing knowledge of Vyavasthit, you see, increasing knowledge of Vyavasthit as the doer. Vyavasthit is doing it. Vyavasthit is doing it because the Mahatma is used to the doing part, He is doing it. He is the reason I am miserable, or she is the reason why I am so unhappy, you see. And at that level, you know, at that level, you know, the Mahatma is given increasing awareness that no, she is not doing it, Vyavasthit is doing it, you know, but Vyavasthit is doing it, but Vyavasthit is doing it, but the doing part is always there. You are not doing it, Vyavasthit is doing it, but you know, finally the doing disappears. Because to do anything requires somebody to do anything, you see, where in Vyavasthit it is happening. In Vyavasthit it is happening. It is happening.
Wow. El crecimiento, todo este conocimiento, ¿no?, que se le está dando a los Mahatmas, que es el conocimiento de Vyavasthit. y Vyavasthit lo está haciendo. Y puede ser que muchos digan, no, mi mujer, él o mi marido, ellos son responsables o los hacedores de mi infelicidad o molestia. Y a la medida que vamos recibiendo todo este conocimiento, Vyavasthit es el hacedor, y el hacedor desaparece. En Vyavasthit solo está sucediendo.
You see?
Claro, perdón. La gran diferencia es esa, que Vyavasthit no hace tampoco. Como que desaparece el verbo hacer por completo. Necesitamos decir que alguien lo está haciendo y por eso decimos cuando somos Baby Mahatmas que Vyavasthit lo hace. Pero a medida que nuestro conocimiento se incrementa, vamos entendiendo que Vyavasthit no hace, solo sucede en Vyavasthit.
Mm-hmm. So you see, so the doership, thank you, Fabi, the doership, you see, the doership is something that will remain in the human psyche, for a human being for a very long time, even after the awakening. Who did it? Who did it? Who did it? Somebody's doing it. And so then Dadashri brings this knowledge of Vyavasthit. Vyavasthit means scientific circumstantial evidence is the doer. The old knowledge, he is doing it, I am doing it, they're doing it, disappears. You see, then the knowledge, the wrong knowledge disappears slowly, day by day, increasing in satsang, you see.
Yes. Gracias, Fabi. El hacedor permanece luego del despertar de la cosa, después del Gnani. Por eso Dada nos da el conocimiento de Vyavasthit y de evidencias científicos circunstanciales, que es el hacedor, las evidencias. Y el viejo conocimiento de yo hago, él hace o me hacen, va desapareciendo con este conocimiento de Vyavasthit y evidencias científicos circunstanciales.
Mm-hmm. You know, a person says, I'm eating some food, I'm having a breakfast, you see. But actually the whole process is happening, but a whole process is happening. He has bread, coffee, eggs, whatever he's eating. And then, but what he does not have the vision to reflect upon. Well, it's gone, the food has gone now, disappeared from the mouth and it's gone someplace, It has gone inside. But then he has zero idea about who is taking care of all that has gone inside, you see. How is your hand moving? How is your brain working? How is it that these words are coming out? The sound is happening, the breathing is happening, the blood is circulating. Wow. He says he doesn't have any idea of who is doing it. God takes care of it. He will say, you see. He has zero idea about, and Dada has opened up the whole science so magnificently for all of us, has he not? Yeah.
Por ejemplo, alguien dice, estoy desayunando y no tiene ni idea de dónde se fue la comida, ni cómo fueron que sucedieron las cosas, ni quién se hace cargo de qué pasó con la comida que entró dentro de su cuerpo. no tiene idea de qué sucede dentro de él, cómo se mueve la mano, la mente, los pensamientos, la palabra, la sangre, cómo respira. Y dice, Dios lo hace. Y tiene cero conocimiento. Entonces Dada abrió esta ciencia para todos nosotros, para el mundo.
The right kind of food, if it is eaten, the right kind of food that is eaten will nourish your body, and it will give, it will carry you for 24 hours, 42 hours, 48 hours, the right kind of food. And if the wrong kind of food goes in, then it will give its effect, it will upset the machinery inside, you see, and it will cause its effects. Who is doing it? Who is doing it? You did not want to eat the wrong kind of food, but it had its effect, did it not?
Por ejemplo, si tienes una correcta clase de comida, tu cuerpo va a estar nutrido por 24 o 48 horas. Y si comes comida incorrecta, vas a tener efectos. Ahora, tú no querías comer la comida incorrecta. ¿Quién hace los efectos? Sorry, Shuddha, I have a phone call.
Okay, fine.
¿Podés seguir, Fabi, vos?
Thank you.
Okay.
¿Podés seguir, por favor, porque me tocan el timbre?
Sí.
Okay.
Muteate. Shuddha, can you mute her, please?
Okay, right. I will mute her. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Lo que decía Shuddha es que cuando comemos correctamente, el cuerpo funciona correctamente. Y cuando comemos incorrectamente, también tenemos las consecuencias. Pero, ¿quién comió? ¿Quién hizo que comiéramos bien o mal?
So it's the wrong, when the wrong kind of food goes in, you become angry, upset. What happened? You don't know how to, you blame the person who made the food, or sometimes you blame yourself. I should not have eaten this. But the point really is that there is always the tendency to really kind of find a reason, find out about who did this, why did this happen, who did this, why did this happen. And Vyavasthit blocks all that. Scientific circumstantial evidences completely blocks it, you see.
El punto al que está queriendo llegar Shuddha es que nos la pasamos buscando una razón, un motivo, un culpable para cada cosa. Y lo que queremos dejar en claro es que Vyavasthit bloquea todo eso, bloquea la búsqueda de los motivos, bloquea la búsqueda de las responsabilidades. Simplemente Vyavasthit bloquea eso.
So this is actually, it's nothing but waking up to the new energy that is doing, the new energy. The Dadashri says the doer is somebody else altogether. The doer is somebody else altogether.
Entonces simplemente es despertar al conocimiento que nos da Dada diciendo, el hacedor simplemente es todo lo otro que está sucediendo, todo lo que sucede junto al mismo tiempo.
The doer is some other energy, and you are not aware of it. And what has happened to all of us is that we have become amazingly aware of the one who is the doer, the real doer, quote unquote, real, and the doer is real, and the word doer is in quotes. The real doer is now known for all of us, you see, and in that lies magnificent freedom. Magnificent freedom lies in this awareness of who is doing all of this, what is happening. Not who is doing it, but what is happening, you see?
Entonces, lo maravilloso que nos está pasando a todos nosotros es que con este conocimiento descubrimos, como dice él, entre comillas, el real hacedor, que es otro, que es otra energía maravillosa a la que nosotros estamos despertando. Y lo maravilloso es que estamos despertando a saber eso. Y eso nos da libertad. Ese conocimiento nos da libertad.
Yes, Shuddhatma Bhagwan, all of you, our time is up. We will, we have only covered the explanation of the first two paragraphs. Mark this where we stopped today, and we will take this up in the next time we meet. Thank you so much, Fabi, dear, and also our dear Patricia, for being here and helping us understand this even more clearly.
Bueno, estamos terminando el satsang de hoy, se ha terminado el horario, que tengamos en claro que solo vimos esos 2 primeros párrafos y los marquemos para la semana que viene, y gracias a todos por esta maravillosa.
Yeah, and so we surrender our head, we put our head at the feet of Dada for this magnificent vision, you see. We go inside and
y entregamos nuestra mente, nuestra cabeza a los pies de Dada y vamos hacia adentro.
So Shuddhatma, have a wonderful day, Shuddhatma Bhagwan, everyone, all of you here. Gabi, have a, yes, right, yes, Carlos, yes. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yes.
We love you.
Yes.
Gracias, Shuddha. Jai Sachidanand.
Thank you.
Jai Sachidanand, Arman, Marcela, Fabi, Anila, Gonzalo, Evangelina, Yaya, Carlos, Monica, Carolina, and Angelique, yes, all right. And Luz, yes, of course, yes.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai
Saludos a los
Sachidanand.
colombianos.
Jai Sachidanand.